Welcome to the Between Two Wheels live stream, bringing you the okayest motorcycle content during this pandemic. I'm your host, Johnny Roblox, and joining me in the virtual studio, we have Justin. I am gaming more than an adult man should. Bird. Uncle, if Call of Duty had me killing hogs, I'd be at the top of every game. Ken. And rejoining us, Mr. John, please don't make me regret this, Maxwell. On today's stream, we will be discussing the leaked Harley-Davidson Cafe Racer, the Flat Tracker, and talking about Harley-Davidson CEO Joaquin Zeit's Rewire initiative. What is going on, guys?
I like that attempt to hurt your one feeling.
I'm over this quarantine shit.
Yeah.
You want your wife to go back to work?
She's been to work, but I'd rather be in the studio doing this shit.
Oh yeah.
I'd rather be out riding and enjoying it so we can actually create some good shit.
Yeah.
I'm 100% tired of the casting couch for sure. Way too much time over here.
Oh Lord.
So, John, I saw your 3 tips for bikers during the quarantine video. Very nice.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, watch that today.
Yep. That's filmed. I got another one coming out from right here in the old home office. So all my shooting and editing happening in the same room is officially driving me nuts.
I mean, they call it a casting couch for a reason. That's why you're doing the shooting.
Yeah.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Uh-oh.
It's my wife bringing me my pizza.
Hey, Miss Bird.
Hey.
More importantly, there's a doggo. Hey, move that fucking pizza. Hey, bye, Iris.
Bro, I don't know what's gotten into them, but they seriously, no matter where we're at in the house, they're right there with us. No matter what, they're right there.
Because they love you.
Austin.
This
Quarantine.
pizza
I've
looks so
been
good.
riding too much to quarantine. Nice. See, it seems like during the whole quarantine, I'm working more than I'm used to working. It's killing me.
Yep, that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, totally.
Fuck you, Ken. Is that a mod pizza? Nice.
I really wanted to see your pizza slide out of the box right there.
I don't think I've ever eaten in front of this many people before. This is weird. I just gotta do it slow and look right into the camera.
Yes.
Nice. That is perfect.
Yeah. That's definitely how we're going to get more people into the room right there.
Yeah.
Great question from Todd. Do you like your video content more about riding or showing how to fix or repair Harley Davidsons? I like that. What do you guys think?
I'll kick it off, I guess. I do not like showing how to fix them very much, but that's what the people like. It's a weird place for me because I get paid to fix them, so it's weird to show how to fix them yourself without ever having to bring it to me. So, and it's kind of boring for me to edit. Like, that's a lot of why there's a lot of camera movement and stupid jokes and stuff, just to kind of keep it fresh for myself as much as anything. But
yeah, it's really when I'm doing like the build series, when I can be creative and stuff like that, that's one thing. But if you're actually showing someone how to do something, it gets very boring very fast, even when you're editing it. I agree.
Yeah. That's the reason why so many like repair videos that I get a lot of comments like, most repair videos are so boring, they're monotone and the people aren't really exciting. It's because it is boring probably for the person filming it. And, it's one of those things like trying to help somebody, but it's hard to get real into it.
See, like the YouTube channel Goon Squad. I love those two guys. Now, if you go back and watch the very beginning when they started, it was the most boring thing to watch. but someone got a hold of them and said, look, you have good content, just be better actors. And it was like an overnight change. They just started becoming better, more energetic and stuff. And I can actually sit there and binge watch their series and not get bored.
I get irritated with their upbeatness. a little over the top with the excitement.
Bro, wouldn't you be over the top if you had two Ferraris, a Lamborghini, a F450, a 3500 dually with a Cummins in it, on top of a whole bunch of other toys?
I mean, I only like half of those things.
Fair enough. Okay. Glenn comes out with, John, any feedback or issues yet on the 131 Stage 4 kit that you've heard of?
No, not yet. We only have, I built one and I did a 1K on another one the other day. One of our customer, or I guess he's local to us, somebody took a dealership up on their free 131 kit when you purchase a 2020. So he rolled through. I guess he was a customer of ours, but that's kind of a hard deal to say no to. So he bought that, and then we'll still have it serviced with us. So that's two of them with a couple other guys, thinking about it. So if we do have any issues, I should know. So
have you gotten to ride one of those?
Yeah, I rode the one. I built, and then I didn't ride the one I serviced. I mean, it's the same thing, but I had one of the other guys ride it so I could get to work on something else. And
what were your thoughts of it?
Well, as everyone here knows on their Milwaukee 8s, the Milwaukee 8 to me cruises at 80 miles an hour. Like, that is where it is super happy.
Like nothing.
No effort to get there. I mean, it'll go faster, but it's just so happy at 80. Well, the 131, I guess the bike just eventually stops. Like, I don't know what speed that happens at, but it's just happy like forever and ever. And nice. At some point you're like, no, I'm good. This is really fast. Here's a slight turn in the road. I probably shouldn't be going this fast anymore. Yeah, it's really smooth all the way through. A lot of times with a big motor or big cam, you sacrifice the bottom end power, but that thing just, the line's nice and linear all the way through. Ride's awesome. So for the small price of $7,000, just slap that boy on there.
I mean, and for me, I feel like that's how I feel about having the Stage 3 on mine. Like, it feels like it just wants to go and go and go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it goes just great.
So the motorcycle Mick, now big shout out. I've been on his live stream a couple times. It's fun. If you haven't, be sure to check out his channel. But I gave him grief over his response. So he wants me to ask you, John, why did you pick the Heritage over the Road King or Road King Special?
100% YouTube creator, to be perfectly honest. Softail's brand new frame. Road King, same bike. Well, the Special is new, but that frame's been out for a while. It's a new engine, but not nearly as exciting to me from a creator standpoint as the Heritage. And then I'm parking a motorcycle trailer too with another bike, so every little bit of slimness I can get on a bike is helpful in parking and moving it around and stuff. So
yes, you did, Motorcycle Mick. Yes, you did. Oh, okay. So let's jump into our first topic of the night. We started seeing some leaked photos of the Harley-Davidson Cafe Racer. Now, let's start with, what are your thoughts? And I want to go design on this one. So, Justin, if you're free, okay. let's hear about your thoughts on the design of this bike.
So I actually really like this bike. The only thing that I didn't like on this particular one was the colors. I think the black and I think the copper bronze, whatever the hell you want to call it, on this particular bike is a little overdone. I feel like they could have broken it up on some plates or some accents more around the motor.
Yeah,
other than that,
especially, and let me get my mouse over here, like right here.
Yep.
That area right there.
And that area right above it.
Yeah.
That rectangle trapezoid looking thing. If that would have been black, I think it would have just made that motor pop that much more. But one thing I do like to point out on this bike is notice, I know everyone hates rear fenders and everyone takes them off immediately, but picture this bike without that ugly ass rear fender and a actual 2-in-1 exhaust. That thing's going to look sick. Especially if they built some kind of kit that made it go under the fender and the exhaust through the frame or through the under the swing arm or above the swing arm and under the rear fender. Oh my God. Yes, please.
It looks like a sport bike. I mean,
it is a cafe racer.
I mean, no, but just looking at it, it looks like a straight up sport bike, period.
Do you say that because of kind of the upswept exhaust and the exposed springs in the back? And
I'd say it's more the exhaust and then the tail.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm not saying it's bad. I like the bike. It looks good.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Maxwell, it's your turn.
I think it's really cool. I think it's gonna flop though. The Cafe Racer came out in like 1979, I think. Willie G's like first, like his design, and they didn't even make it a second year. It did so bad. I mean, normally Harley gives things at least 3 years before they shut them down, but they, I don't know. I think hopefully it does well, but I just don't know if it's what people that shop with Harley want, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I think it looks awesome, and I think a lot of people will, but it only matters if like people go buy it. It doesn't matter if everyone in the country can think it's awesome. If nobody goes and buys it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I have to say, I really like this bike. I cannot be upset with it. Now again, this is a concept, so this is probably going to be drastically shifted before it goes to production. Hopefully that seat will change, but as a non-cafe racer guy, I actually like the style of this bike. To Justin's point, stripping out that back piece on that rear fender. Yeah. 100%. That shit's got to go.
Yeah. And they do that just for legal reasons.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Cause someone's going to come out with a lay flat license plate holder that'll mount right in there. So everyone can be legal. And I don't know. I think this bike actually has a potential to bring some of those sport bike guys over. So, John, let's do this. There you go.
Yeah. So I could make it bigger and make it in the stream. Now that I'm looking at the 79 version or the 78, I'm sorry, the 78th version of the Cafe Racer. Maybe that's why it flopped. I don't know. Obviously their new version is a lot nicer.
Yeah. And I like the fact that this is another bike with this engine platform. I dig that. I like what they're doing, and the modular side of that too. So now they can have, an actual upgradable version in an S or something. So that's kind of cool. All right. So we like the Cafe Racer.
Yeah.
Good. Let's talk about the flat tracker. Justin, because I already know where you're going to go with this one, I want to hear your thoughts first. Let's start on design.
I mean, how do you fuck it up this bad?
Right?
Out of all
Thank
the
you.
cool flat track designs, I mean, look at Indian. Indian nailed it. And then you
with
drop
the FTR. Yeah.
Yeah, with the FTR. And then you drop this.
It like
The
I don't
color
even-
scheme is the only thing I like. I like the black wheels with the aluminum motor and the blue and orange paint. That's really all I like.
Yeah, don't mind it, but that fucking exhaust looks like fucking hot garbage. And that what the fuck they got above the headlight there? Is that supposed to be your number plate?
Yeah.
Not with holes, it's not.
I mean, like I don't even know what the fuck they were thinking.
Yeah.
I like the engine. I like the contrast between, with the lighter and darker gray. I mean, that's all right.
Yeah.
But right off the bat, the fucking exhaust just slaps
Everything
you in
else
the face.
misses the mark.
And
Okay, John, what are your thoughts?
All right. I fucking hate it. I mean, but I think, and none of y'all have mentioned yet, y'all see that license plate and rear turn signals?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
no, it's there.
'cause-
Just
Yeah. So that means the other side of this bike is somehow even uglier than this side of this bike.
I didn't think about that, but you're
right.
absolutely right.
You're absolutely right. Yep.
So now, to be fair though, I mean, I'm not a fan of this exhaust necessarily, but that's straight up flat track, like high exhaust. It's not going to drag the ground. The lean angle on the bike is going to be far superior than all the other models. So that's straight up flat track. The same wheel sizes, front and rear. They're probably 19s or something. They're pretty big. As far as that piece above the headlight though, as soon as you said that, I know why that piece is there. It's because somewhere along the way of design, someone was like, man, all those wires coming out of the handlebar look really bad. Can we up them?
You are absolutely
Yes. We can make this really stupid looking plate and we'll put it right there. And now it won't look that bad. Oh, wait. Fuck. So, yeah, I mean, I don't like it. The bad thing about this one is I don't think anybody's going to buy it and nobody's going to like it. So they really missed the mark on the flat track, I think.
Moto Mix says it looks like a freaking moped, and he's kind of right. And I think that has to do with the short wheelbase.
It does. Yeah, it does look like it's already impacted a brick wall for sure.
It does. It really does.
Okay. The headlight just kills me. That headlight looks way too small to be on that bike. I don't know. What do you...
I mean, it looks like
the-
is that the Fat Bob headlight?
It is. It's a very solid use of Harley taking parts from other bikes and slapping on something else.
I have a strong suspicion this will not make it out of concept.
I agree. I think there's too many one-off parts on this bike for them to do it. I mean, that's why Harley does so many, same parts, different model. That nothing on. I think the handlebars they might have gotten from a street or something, but otherwise everything is only this bike. It's too expensive. Nobody's gonna buy it.
Oh, great comment here.
Yeah, I just saw that.
It might look better if it had hit a brick wall. Very nice. Agreed.
Bearded biker trash.
Yeah.
If COVID-19 was a bike.
Yeah. I feel some memes coming on here. I do.
Oh, okay. So let's go into something a little serious. Now, everything I'm pulling on the next 4 or 5 of these are from Harley-Davidson's 2020 Q1's earnings call. And a lot of this is going to be quoted from their current acting CEO, Joachim Zietz. And this is kind of how it started. Our team is talented and hardworking, but leadership has become somewhat isolated and overly centralized, and as a result, slow to respond. The speed of decision making needs to increase. we'll continue to move forward with the highest potential elements of more roads, but our strategy must be reassessed. As a result of my observations and assessment, I've concluded that we need to take significant actions and rewire the company now in terms of priorities, execution, operating model, and strategy to drive sustained profit and long-term growth. We are calling it the Rewire. Okay, now first, fucking horrible name. Of all the initiatives, that just sounds retarded. But what do y'all actually think about this? I mean, he's calling out the leadership team, and probably inadvertently, it's a slap to the previous CEO, but it isolated and overly centralized. You know what that says? They were horrible leaders and no one wanted to deal with them. So they isolated them. They kept them away from all the important shit.
Yeah.
Slow to respond. Let's look at where we are from a technology and design standpoint at Harley compared to the market.
Oh, fuck. No kidding.
So, but again, you have a massive organization such as Harley-Davidson Inc., and it's going to be slow to move. So they kind of broke this down into some points on how they were going to kind of achieve this. Point 1. First, we'll enhance our core strength and better balance expansion into new spaces. It's more important than ever to return focus and strength of our brand and company, starting with our dealers, customers, and our stronghold products, committed employees around the world. Now, everyone in the media jumped on this. And I saw tons and tons of articles talking about how they were going to be taking these massive steps backwards with this whole Rewire plan. But in all honesty, isn't this what every manufacturer is doing today? They're refocusing, reprioritizing, and really trying to just continue feeding the base, because the base is what's going to help them weather the storm that is COVID-19. Yeah. I mean, what are your take on this?
So for me, this is Joaquin or Jochin or however the fuck you say his name.
Joaquin.
He, Joaquin walked in and he kicked over the fucking trash can and said, "Listen here, motherfuckers." I mean, that's what I'm taking away from this already.
I agree.
I mean, he
didn't actually walk in though. He's already on the board.
Well, yeah,
he was already in the room. Just to be clear.
So he
stood up.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So he stood up, got on the conference table, and took a shit right on the desk. And now everybody's fucking looking at him. And he's like, "This is what I have to say."
And then he started rubbing their noses in it.
Yes, you come here. Fucking rolled up. He rolled up their fucking core values and mission statement and started busting people on the nose with it.
Oh,
the visuals I'm getting on this whole thing are absolutely incredible.
Any other color commentary about this one? No? All right.
Point made. Yeah.
Point 2. Second, we prioritize the markets that matter. We'll invest in the markets, products, and customers that offer the most profit and potential. This includes building on our strong position in the U.S. We'll narrow our focus, time, and energy in the most critical countries and market segments that can move the needle for us today. We'll also diligently play the long game by identifying select strategic markets that may not contribute to the enterprise profitability in the near term, but are critical for our future. We will also simplify the market coverage model and take costs out of the process. So, let's
how does that work from a business standpoint?
All right, I got something for you. On because how I understand that all the people that complain about, the core customer not being taken care of. And to me, he's trying to say that they're going to refocus back to that more, the US, what works, what they know to work. And they had these big plans to expand in China with the electric bike market, storefronts, this whole huge plan that I don't know if it was public or not. It was all over our internal stuff, though, with pictures and graphs and all sorts of business. But it sounds to me like he wasn't a fan of that idea, which is, especially now in the current world situation, like the biggest failure for most companies expanding too fast. So that's kind of the reevaluation, is maybe they shouldn't take over every street corner in China with a bicycle shop as previously planned. And also, nobody's happy with China right now, so it'd probably be stupid to carry out that this very second.
They're a bunch of liars anyway, so,
So I actually understood that to mean more around going after that Chinese market. Look at the partnership they just opened up with and start producing Harleys for the Chinese market. That's not going to go anywhere. They're still going to expand that market heavy. They also
a long game, and I read that as in a long game, where their plan originally had been like, boom, we're freaking taking it over, like more roads to freedom or whatever they call that plan, which he's already, more roads to, he'd already niched that in the first slide too, hating on that thing. So
now, so the way I see it, this is reading that they're going to continue focusing on US and Western Europe as their core.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to limit their expansion to only core markets that will help them in the future. So we're talking China and Southeast Asia. They already have a pretty big foothold in Japan and in Australia. So they're not going to push any additional focus there. I have a feeling they're going to start slowing their expansion into South America and Latin America. That's how I interpret what I just saw.
I mean, I can see that. I mean, like the first sentence of that statement, was we're going to prioritize the markets that matter.
Exactly.
I mean,
we have to make money.
Yeah, like right out of and then he follows it up, and we'll invest.
We'll invest in the markets, products, and customers that offer the most profit and potential.
I mean, right there. I mean, of course, that's your goal, period, in general. But taking care of the people that are taking care of the company. That's how I interpret that.
Fair enough. Brandon Knott hit this in the comments. Hopefully they reevaluate their pricing model a bit and make their bikes a little more affordable. So to that, and honestly, that is probably 75% of every Harley owner's wish, that Harleys would be cheaper. But how do you lower the cost? Well, you go with inferior products. So you go with thinner steel tubing in your frames, or you go to an aluminum frame altogether, which I don't even know how that would feel with a Harley. And I mean, it would be a completely different ride, I think. But
for sure,
I mean, outside of that, I don't know if their pricing model is wrong. I mean, they're not direct to consumer. So the fact that they're hitting a middleman, and that middleman has to have a profit as well, I kind of see their pricing. It's a little steep on some of their bikes.
On some of them, yeah. I mean, when you look at shit like the Livewire.
Sure.
I mean, and of course, we did a whole fucking episode on that compared to other electrics. And they're just so fucking far off base on that thing. And that's why that thing's going to die.
I still stand behind the fact that that's overpriced on purpose, because they don't want to sell a lot of that bike. They want that bike in the news, and they want people talking about that bike, and they want to enter the electric market, not fumble because they overproduced them to try to meet a market demand and killed their whole electric game on their first model.
Okay. I mean, okay, I can see that.
Because everybody's talking about that shit. They definitely hit the nail on the head with that part. And most of the headlines are $30,000 for an electric Harley.
Yeah. But on the flip side of that is they were, as soon as they were coming in to the dealerships, they were right back out the door. So, I mean, obviously there's a market for them and people with the money to burn that way. It's
called guerrilla marketing right there.
Oh, guerrilla marketing?
Yeah, like remember when IHOP said they were changing their name and how much freaking hype they got and they never did it?
Okay. All right.
I think it's a combination of getting a lot of R&D into one project, but I think it's more towards what John was saying is that they wanted to get in the news, they wanted to make the headlines, they wanted to, put out a bike that was cool, but then now they can justify spending the money to actually enter the electric market.
Yeah, and it's a good way for them to test how people are going to accept a Harley-Davidson electric bike.
Every single person I've ever talked to about the live wires, first comment when you say the word live wires, have you ridden it yet? Like, it must be just the most insane thing ever.
Hey,
it is so much fun.
Yeah. It was great. I loved riding it. But again, for what it is, it's beyond my price point.
Yeah.
And of course, and I say that, but I also bought, a $35,000 bike,
But you can use it in a completely different way, though.
True.
Yeah, it meets your needs better than what. And that's like the funniest hate towards the live wire ever to me is, but you can't even travel on it. It only goes 115 miles. Well, they didn't build it to travel on. That's not. No one along the way was like, we'll build an electric bike and people will trade in their ultra classics for it. That was never part of the plan.
No.
That's like that freaking ADV bike we saw at IMS that only had like 130-mile range. It's like, this is dumb.
Yeah. And that was another zero, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was zero.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be cool, but you're definitely going to have to,
missing the mark big time.
Yeah.
So Southern Tech asked the question, did they have to offer one because of the EPA, like car manufacturers? Well, actually, they don't have to, but they had to.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean. It's one of those that the EPA cannot say, oh, if you are a manufacturer of automobiles or auto moving vehicles, that you have to produce an electric version. But they probably receive some type of thank you for doing that.
Well, there's some countries in Europe have a internal combustion engine ban, basically, by the year of 2024.
Wasn't that the UK?
It's 2025, but I think they pushed it back to 2024.
Okay. Either way, there is an obvious this is what's coming. So if you don't have that flagship model right now, where you can make an affordable one by 2024, your company is not sold in that country at all. So you better have a freaking electric vehicle lineup by 2024.
Or just every model that runs off your assembly line is a 2024 model or a 2023 model. You never go up a new model. Okay, we need to stamp 5 million frames. Get to it.
Yeah, that way we can sell them all. Yeah. I mean, that's what they did. That's what they did with the Hayabusa. They're like, we've got all these fucking Hayabusas and shit laying around. Can we at least sell those and then change things? And everyone's like, okay.
Yeah, that works.
All right. So here's Rewire point 3. Third, we reset our product launches and lineup for simplicity and maximum impact. Launches are 6 to 12 months to reflect our new reality and to allow our launch calendar for the first time in our recent history to align with the start of the riding season. We'll simplify launches over time to better suit the capacity of our dealers and company resources to support them. From here, we'll expand our profitable, iconic heritage bikes to excite our existing customers. We also remain committed to adventure touring, street fighter, and advancing our efforts in electric. We will continue to be guided by the voice of our customers, and dealers as we bring new focus to our offerings to optimize value and profit, blah, blah, whatever. So, in essence, those two bikes we just talked about, probably not going to happen anytime soon. But they said adventure touring. They did not say they're still committed to the Pan America. They went the entire segment of adventure touring. They also didn't say the Bronx. They said the Street Fighter, making me think that they're going to have multiple models on that platform coming out.
I think the Cafe Racer is one of the Street Fighter models.
Oh, kind of like,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's like a wide glide on a Dyna.
Yeah, when they revamped the website to be like street and touring and all that, I think the Street Fighter is a segment of bikes that they have. And I think that Cafe Racer will be part of that.
Well, and then the flat tracker would probably be on the same platform.
They could niche that. Nobody would mind if they just threw that idea away. I think
just throw it in the trash, please.
I want to see the Cafe Racer. Like, I want that bike to be out. But I mean, my beef with the Roadster is that it doesn't look cool until you spend like $5,000 to make it look more cafe. So it'd be nice to buy one that all you need to make it look really cool is to take stuff off, like that license plate bracket. So
I was doing a quick Photoshop of what I would have made it look like if you want to share my screen.
Down. Add.
That's my quick little Photoshop edit.
Okay, I like what you did there with the black accents, breaking it up, kind of like what they did on that primary.
What I also didn't realize when we're looking at the original picture is that in the original picture, this end cap right here is actually, it's not copper. It's whatever. It's like a raw aluminum or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Huh. And I changed up the badge and then, of course, blacked out the giant orange reflectors. Oh, and I changed the pipes to black, too.
Yeah, see, and that, and that's, they'll have that just like they do now where you can change out all your different, covers and timing cover and all that shit. So you can customize it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You're different just like everybody else.
Yeah, I don't know how many people are on a design team, but even if it's 4 people, which it's not, it's probably 12 or 15. There's no way all those guys agree on that kind of stuff, And at some point, the money guy comes in. It's like, no, we're doing it this way.
Okay, sir.
Yes, money man. Yes.
Well, that's why when we were all talking about, how we wanted to handle Project Clean Slate, the chances of the 3 of us all agreeing on the same style of handlebars, the same color of this or the same color of that, it's almost not going to happen. That's why we said we're just leaving it up to the Patreon members to be a tiebreaker or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So Canyon, this guy on the screen.
Canyonero.
There you go.
Canyonero.
So you can read the CEO's name and not that guy's screen name? Is that what you're telling me right now?
That's exactly what I heard.
There it is.
The Canyonero was a Simpsons, was a car in the Simpsons.
Yeah, it was the big SUV.
Yeah. Canyonero catches on fire when it goes downhill. Or
I remember that.
I think it was poking fun at like the Ford Explorer or the Bronco or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think they're catering more to the overseas markets or millennials?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Just both.
Yeah. The last what are we on, bullet point number 3, I think.
Yeah.
He had mentioned the he mentioned the lineup for simplicity and maximum impact. That little part there makes me feel like they might even lessen the amount of touring models that they had this past year. At the dealer show, I talked to a sales manager, and he had done the math and figured out that there were something stupid like to have every model limited, ultra classic limited that Harley offered, he would have to have 27 bikes on the floor between color options, chrome, black trim, all that stuff. It would take 27 models. So it's funny when I think they are catering to millennials and overseas to a degree. They also got so far into trying to please core customers, they didn't even realize that they were trying to please them anymore. They were, they're all mad about these new models coming out. It's like, bro, there are literally like 100 combinations of touring bikes for you guys. And y'all don't even realize it. Y'all are like just way too many options. So
it's like when you give one kid like a big popsicle and then you give the other kid another big popsicle and they're like, hey, theirs is bigger. You're like, no, it's not. Yours is a lot bigger. Nuh-uh. That's all it reminds me of.
So I do wonder if they're going to trim down some stuff and make it kind of easier to understand what is going on.
Can we kick someone from the live stream?
Yeah, actually, I can. That dumb guy Productions.
Go ahead, ban him.
Well, let's look at his name. Then.
Can we put him in timeout?
But he obviously does not listen to our podcast.
Do you want to read the comment for people who are not watching the video?
Oh, yeah, shit.
We're doing a radio show here, guys.
Yeah, get rid of the road glides. Indian already has the fixed fairing bikes. So first off,
because they
already. Just saying. Oh, this fucking guy. But I think we need to start seeing them. Harley, trying to bring this back on topic. Harley needs to start releasing bikes when riders actually want the new bikes, like February, March timeframe. Because let's face it, right now they talk about it at the end of August, early September, right around the end of Sturgis. And then the bikes hit the dealerships a couple weeks later. Let's say the end of September, the bikes are unpacked, ready to go. Well, folks up in the north, why would they go and buy a brand new bike that's going to sit in their garage or sit in storage, and they're going to be making insurance payments and monthly payments on something they can't even enjoy?
They're already starting to pack up the bikes at that point.
So if you push the major releases to the springtime, right before riding season, you have the big release for the bike. You then have your riding gear that goes along with that season that's ready to go. You release your spring and summer line right then. New bike, new gear. I mean, it's cross fucking sales right there. I mean, I don't see why they're doing the whole August thing. And well, maybe I do. Maybe it's because of Sturgis. Maybe they want to use Sturgis as their launch pad for the new models. But a lot of people look at Sturgis as one of the big last rallies of the year, unless the folks who are on the East Coast going to Biketoberfest. What do you think?
Yeah, the last couple of years, the model release has been like the week after Sturgis. I know at one point that was a major deal is Sturgis, but at the same, yeah, you're right though. That's Sturgis kind of that's the last big shebang of the year for most folks.
And it's one of the biggest, right? I mean, still.
Oh, absolutely, hands down. I don't know. It does make more sense to have it at the beginning of the riding season. I think a lot of August is like, when do new cars come out? April, May, stupid. Like, if Harley releases in the beginning of riding season for 2021 model years, cars are going to come out like the next month for the 2022 model year.
Yeah,
and that's kind of weird. I think that's part of why they are forward in August, is just because that's what other manufacturers do.
See, Tricky Ricky says, GM, there you go. Our new model years builds start in June, and maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah, that's same for Harley. They start in June as well. They run June, July, like heavy shifts, the way I understand it. And then August, they're ready to ship out most models. He did talk about, in that bullet point, he talked about better like stocking dealerships at the time of the new year. And it does sound like maybe you're still starting to build them in June or August, and it's just giving you more time to like just flood dealerships with models come the model year release. Like, we didn't get our CVO trike until probably January. It'd been out for 5 months, so that's crazy.
So our commenter on Facebook, Kara, from the crashing into the wall for the flat tracker, having it in the early part of the first quarter, you have tax returns. People can go make that down payment. Yeah, it makes total sense.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Now, B-Rad had a question. Now, this is going to be geared more towards Justin and John. Have any of you tried the GoPro Hero Max? And if so, does it compare to the Insta360R?
That's all, John.
Yeah, I haven't tried the Max, so I can't. I don't know for sure. I'm super happy with Insta360R, though, for sure. The ability to have the whole modular thing is freaking trick, man. It seems like a gimmick to a degree, but I mean, it's not. You have two cameras in a much smaller package. If you have a Max and you also want a regular action camera, you literally have two cameras now. So I was looking for it. I don't even see it here. So hopefully everyone else knows what I'm even talking about.
So Dylan Glover asks, middle year release is due to financial year, isn't it? No. So Harley's financial year is their fiscal year is September, or was it October 1st to September 30 or 30? Yeah. So it wouldn't be because of that. Their mid-year release is just to kind of reinvigorate their model lineup, get some excitement going while people are out riding and things like that. But currently their mid-year releases are happening in what, April, May timeframe?
No, it's more mid-year to their model year. It's like 6 months after their model year release. So it's actually the beginning of the year, basically. And it sounded like he's done with mid-year releases, sort of, at some point in that bullet point.
So, John, I know you're an Apple fan, and that makes two of us only on this live stream. But kind of how Samsung and Apple, when they're doing their phone and their other big electronic releases, they kind of spread it out throughout the year. They'll have each major quarter, they'll have something going out. Do you think that type of release model could work for Harley?
I mean, potentially. The only difference is, like we've already talked about, the weather is a huge part of what's going on in the motorcycle business, where, tech companies, and it doesn't have to be Apple and computer, it's the Xboxes and PlayStations and everything is, they have their whole lineup and they're changing it. Throughout the whole year, something new is always coming out. But I guess that probably is part of why there's a mid-year release, though it doesn't necessarily boost their quarter earnings or anything, because realistically, they release 2 new models and dealerships don't get them for 3 weeks after they were announced, and then they only get 1 or 2. So it's not like it's changing the game on your sales floor and suddenly all this money is pouring into the dealership. So
No. Yeah.
it didn't like the iPhone release where people are standing in a city block long line waiting to pick that $1,500 phone up.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we've beaten that one to death. So I don't know. So what we're seeing in the marketplace, do you think it's anything we should be shocked about?
No. The
shakeup at Harley's making sense. I did see that they moved the president of HDFS over into a new role within the motor company. So that'd be interesting to see.
Well, Levittich only stepped down because he was in part of the New World Order and they were having to step down. I'll hear about that. Am I
know where you're going. Yeah.
Okay.
One of like 15 CEOs to step down within a week.
Just saying.
Crazy, man.
Now they're going to release the murder hornets on us, and we're all going to.
God damn murder hornets.
Okay. Have you guys been listening to InfoWars?
Fuck no.
Little Alex Jones action?
No.
I don't know what that is.
Are the murder hornets turning people gay or some shit? Or
no, he's going to release a toothpaste to make you repel the murder hornets.
That's where
you can buy it for $19.95. He got in some shit for that coronavirus.
Big shit. Big shit.
Did you know that I wasn't even able to? So I just recently put new decal designs on the store, and one of the designs was like, or a few of the designs actually were in reference to like being an essential worker type of thing. It would not let me put like corona or virus or COVID or anything like that anywhere in the ad because they strictly prohibit the sale of anything that could be taken as a cure or, you know, profiting off of it or anything like that.
Whatever.
Did you just get fancy with the way you wrote it out, like putting dashes between each letter or something?
No, I just put like, because you could still put like pandemic
that.
and virus and all that. You just couldn't use the actual name for it.
Goddamn Carol Baskin. Yeah.
That's who probably released the murder hornets.
Yeah. Save the murder hornets. That's what she's going after.
Oh,
shit.
So I've been checking out Udemy. Have you guys ever heard of this? UDEMY. It's like a online courses and stuff.
No.
So for my job, I have to have 40 hours of continuous education each year. So my company has this Udemy thing, and any course on there I take, I get the credit for. So they had one, I was like, okay, this would be a good little fluff course, 4.5 hour long course on Microsoft Teams. And I'm watching one right now. It's 6.5 hours on how to use Adobe Audition. So hopefully the podcast will start sounding better. After that, I'm taking a Photoshop thing, but it's like 22 hours. So this is going to take me a few weeks.
I mean, how fucking hard is it to fucking Photoshop emojis?
I'm doing the Photoshop course so I can get away from just dropping an emoji in there.
Thank God. Fuck, take more than 5 seconds, please.
Hey, did you like today's thumbnail?
No.
There was a thumbnail?
If you want to call it that.
Hold on, let's go look at this.
Oh, hell.
Hey,
yep. Mm-hmm.
I need to do
what
a
the
tutorial.
fuck is that even? Like, Is that the outline of a bike having a psychedelic meltdown?
Yeah.
Or...
Actually, that was all Photoshop. I hit the wrong button. I was like, well, I'm just fucking done. I'm tired.
Solid. Now, if that's not pride in your work, I don't know what is, folks.
Fucking nailed it.
Fuck it. I was tired, so I don't want to do it anymore.
Exactly.
You're reverting back to your Navy days. I'm good enough for government work.
Yeah. God, have you seen that video of that guy carrying sandbags? And that guy's like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Oh yeah, no, I've been there. That was me at some point.
I was like, dude, I was never in the military, but everyone I've talked to that was is like, that is so accurate. I'm moving sandbags from over here to over there. Why? Does it look like I know?
Right? Yep. All right. So for anybody who wants to experience military life, tomorrow, all right, I want you to go out and I want you to sweep your fucking lawn. If it's raining, I want you to mop your fucking driveway. All right. I don't want any fucking water on your goddamn driveway. It's a slipping hazard. All right.
So also you can go and paint your curb.
Yeah.
Paint it all black, then go over it, paint it white, put some numbers on there, repaint it again, back to black, put numbers on there again, forget that you didn't use the right color paint for the numbers, respray the entire thing black again, and start again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or this one. Okay, I do feel bad because I actually told a sailor to go do this.
Go wash rocks.
Go fucking wash rocks. Yeah. Oh, there's all sorts of shit you can do in the military that, I mean, if you want, you can experience it right here in the civilian world.
And you don't have to go spend, a few weeks in boot camp to experience it. Well, that's for the Air Force.
Yeah. Go make your bed, go clean your room, and then have your friend or someone just go in there and fucking toss it and be like, oh, you didn't have the carpet vacuumed the right direction.
So, funny story. When I got on board the USS Abraham Lincoln, it's an aircraft carrier. I get on, I meet with the leading petty officer. He says, okay, is this your first time on a ship? I was like, yeah, sure. And he's like, okay, go find this tag number. So every single bulkhead on a ship through a wall has a tag number. It goes the frame, and it's all how they lay out the ship, right? So this fucking tag number is like 13 decks down, the opposite end of the aircraft carrier. Oh, and there's one-way halls and one-way ladders. So it took me 5 hours to really just go down 12 decks to get to the exact same spot I was, just 12 decks lower. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it even existed.
Well,
yeah, that's the same.
Well, did you
I thought for sure the end of that story was it's out.
Go find the keys for the Hummer.
Yeah.
Or I mean, you go find tag ID10T.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting.
If y'all don't know what ID10T is, write it out.
The one thing though, when I asked him why, I was able to find everything I would ever need. So the ship store, the galley, where my berthing was, I had to go down the ladder right next to my berthing.
Oh, you were born in the Navy?
God damn it. Boo.
Dad jokes.
Jeez.
Oh, God. Anyways, so that was everything that I actually had planned for the show.
Yeah?
And we did it in just shy of 1
under
hour.
an hour. Wow.
See what happens when I actually put together an agenda?
But you did it today. Or did you do it yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, actually, I started working on this a little bit on Sunday. And then Monday, I kind of wrapped it up and did some final tweaks. And then today, I completely redid it because I wasn't happy with the first draft.
Wow.
So, but I didn't have a
Damn.
client. I had no client stuff today.
Pride in your work, party of one. Pride in your work, party of one.
It's true. We have missed the we haven't gotten to the pick on roadblock till we heard his one feeling part.
That's a tough one. But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to some cool shit coming out. Now, someone was talking about this earlier. Now let me see if I can. Where did that screen go? There it is. What the fuck? There. Let me share this because this thing looks badass. And this is coming from Confederate Cycles. So there's that. Share. Fucking hell. There. Share that. There we go.
Oh,
$45,000.
The 2020 Confederate Hellcat. Select payment.
Yeah.
Wow.
is there any other pictures or is just that one?
They kind of have this thing right here.
Ass.
So it's one of two new 2020 Confederates built on the Harley-Davidson FXDR frame with the Screaming Eagle Milwaukee 8 engine. Which engine is it?
It's a 117.
117?
Yeah, it's stage 4, so it's built out to 117.
Power,
It's like-
110 brake horsepower, torques 120.
That seems low.
In all honesty, that just seems like more show than go.
Yeah.
Which
I love Confederate bikes though, man. Damn,
This
Yeah,
has to be my
looks
least
good.
favorite, though. It looks way too much like the Triumph Bobber. The back half looks like the Triumph Bobber, and then it looks like an FXDR up front.
it kind of looks like the rocker.
Yeah, it does look a
Yeah.
lot like the rocker.
Yeah. Now that
That-
you point that
that-
out, it does.
That floating
Yeah.
back seat.
I mean, it's not terrible.
No, don't get me wrong. That's a sexy looking bike.
I mean, I'd rather have their freaking fighter.
Oh, now we're talking some crazy stuff. But I don't know if our fans are used to that. Let's see here. Come on, their website. Okay, which one?
Oh, the fighter.
Yeah.
Or the
F-17 fighter.
Oh, they have the
P-51
fighter
is-
or the
And the B-51.
P-51.
FA13.
So-
Really, pretty much like all
45.
the other ones.
Yeah, 45K is cheap.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
They
For
yeah.
these
didn't,
guys. Yeah.
Well, that's also why it still looks like an FXDR up front.
Yep.
If you want it to not look like the original model, you can pay another $100,000.
Yeah.
Only.
They're fucking
So-
nice, though.
What's
Oh, they're
is that
so
a Honda Rebel for 40K right there?
That's what it looks like, right?
It's their Hellcat. This thing,
That's either
it's
2005 Hellcat.
it's 15 years old.
Yeah.
That still held its value quite well.
You're right. Right?
Yeah.
No, it's lost 100,000 in value over the few years.
That one's pretty ugly, too.
I don't like the tank,
Yeah. But
but no,
I
their
would
fighter,
say-
man, the F-17 fighter, or that one right there.
The Wraith is pretty dope, too.
yeah, the Wraith is
Yeah.
probably one of my favorites from them.
Yeah, that P-51 combat fighter. That's the one we saw at the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw
That,
this
I mean,
one
that's
for
the one
sure.
that was in Transformers.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
God
Yeah.
damn, I
That's
just love it.
cool.
You can see all the liquids and everything.
Yeah, I was about to. That's what caught me.
And that whole area right there is open too. So that's all like the plexiglass that you can see inside.
Yeah. Just
Weird.
sexy.
The color that they have on those cylinders makes it look like you're looking at the piston.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it does.
That's pretty trick.
So you're seeing what you get for $110,000 is the meticulous detail.
Yeah, weren't we talking about like the art behind building motorcycles last week?
Yeah.
This is it right here. It looks like they kind of resemble Keanu Reeves. Have you ever seen his motorcycle company?
Yes.
Yeah. They look like his bikes on steroids.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I don't know, man. These bikes are just,
Love them.
fucking sexy.
I mean, those are solid pieces of billet.
Yeah.
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 You can see how that gets so pricey.
Carbon fiber wheels. Was that what that was?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think those wheels alone are like $16,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
And the guy,
A stupid amount of money.
The owner of the company.
Are those dual rotors on each side? Or
Yes.
something?
Yes.
holy shit, they are.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember I was talking to him off to the side. I can't remember if he said the wheels or like the wheel setup itself, like including the brakes and everything, was like $16,000.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
Yeah, he's a super down to earth guy.
Yeah, old country boy.
Yeah. Florida country boy.
Yeah, well, between Florida and
Alabama.
Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah. But he sat down with us there at Strokers for like probably an
Couple hours?
hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, he was cool as shit.
Yeah.
Yep, he was like, hey, if y'all ever get out to Florida, we'll go ride some expensive ass motorcycles and ride horses and shoot guns.
Yep.
Hell yeah, man. I'm fucking in.
Let's go.
Yeah. Southern Tech suggests that I go make a video with them. Birmingham's like 2 hours from me.
Well,
You
he's
should-
actually in Florida.
Yeah, but their factory's in Birmingham.
Okay.
Dude, Birmingham is like a hotbed for like high tech engineering, like machining type stuff. Because that's where all the, I don't think it's Birmingham, or it might be right near Birmingham. That's where all the stuff's built for NASA.
I don't like that one.
Which is funny because you talk to a lot of like the rocket engineers and they all have really thick Southern accents. So it's, if you've never heard someone talking about rocket science with a Southern accent, you definitely need to do that in your lifetime. There was a show, I can't remember what network it was on. It was on like TLC or something like that. It was called Rocket City Rednecks. And if you have, a couple hours to spare, definitely look that up.
Huntsville.
Huntsville, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Method looks good.
Damn it. I grabbed the wrong one. There you go.
I mean, he's right. They do make the seats just for you.
Well, yes. But yeah. All right. So, who has a good closing argument? Because I did not come up with one.
Shocker.
All that work you did and you don't have a closing argument?
Man,
Not a good one. I had one, but it was shit, so I dumped it.
is wearing masks violating your constitutional rights?
Oh, Jesus.
Also, we've entered the fuck that guy segment with Uncle Ken
Yeah.
all at the same time.
If social distancing works, then why are we wearing masks? And if the masks work, why aren't we, back to fully being open and just wearing masks? Just saying. Yeah, fuck that guy. Oh, and someone asked if I had made up with Blockhead. Fuck no, I don't talk to Blockhead. Why would I talk to him?
Man, we are not about to start talking shit about Blockhead again, are we?
We can always talk shit about
I
Blockhead.
say we got to have a different guy each week.
Yeah, Blockhead is my friend. Can we find, let's
See,
find somebody
that's a
that we're
good
all like, fuck
dude
that
right
guy.
there. Good dude, John.
I mean, look, it's okay that you like him. I don't have to like him.
No, it'd just be fun if we, all agreed on who we don't like.
Have you ever watched How I Met Your Mother? What John just did right there reminds me of Barney. He's like, well, can you like doesn't make an argument, but he's like, come on.
Can we just not?
Come on.
Jeez.
Oh man. Oh fuck. I don't have a closing argument.
All right. John?
Someone in the comments give us a closing
Oh,
argument.
there we go. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, that's good. That actually might be better than you guys writing the closing arguments anyway. They can come up with something good.
Now we just gotta wait for the chat to catch up.
Yeah.
So my dad bought a dirt bike today. That's
Oh
exciting.
yeah, he did buy it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. You've converted everybody in Texas back to dirt bikes, huh?
Trying
quite.
to. I don't think I'll ever get Ken, and I don't think I'll ever snag Roadblock either. So
Well, yeah, Roadblock went to the dark side to side by sides, apparently.
My cousin, he just bought himself a Razor. So, yep,
Yeah,
he bought it.
I'm
He
looking
bought
at
it.
the
It had a
X3
busted.
turbo.
It's got a busted front diff. So, but he said he can fix that for like $1,500.
Nice.
oh yeah, man, you can find them on that website Wreck Toys up in Dallas. They've got a shit ton of them that can be fixed fairly easy.
And it's a lot of them are super cheap.
Oh yeah.
You know, I was supposed to reach out to Rec Toys. I'm going to try hitting them up again. That guy was nice. The two girls he had with him were annoying as shit, but oh well.
Yeah, that's their job. Their job isn't to be
Yeah, I know.
nice to talk to.
Okay, so have you guys watched Waco on Netflix? Hell yeah.
I have. It was so good.
Oh, really?
100%.
It was
All right.
so good.
Well, see, I mean, I lived through Waco. I mean, I remember that quite
You
well.
lived through it? Were you in the house?
That time, yeah.
Hmm.
I was there.
It was weird seeing it from like the inside perspective. Like you could see how easily those people could get sucked into that and how everything can go from okay to shit real quick given a situation like that.
Oh yeah, I mean it's like any cult. They play on the weak.
Yeah.
Now whether you're just weak-minded in general or you've had problems, you're not in the right mental spot.
Yeah.
That's how they do it.
Or you're just lost.
Yeah, and that's exactly how they do it. All cults work that way.
But I didn't realize it lasted that long. Like,
So here's the question.
Mm.
Is it worth heat wrapping your exhaust?
depends on what you want to use it for.
Yeah. What is the worth? The look or the performance?
Yeah.
Good point. Good point.
And I have a bike that has heat wrapped exhaust, and it's strictly for looks.
Yeah, it doesn't do shit for the heat.
Yes. If you have ever gotten your leg near a heat wrapped pipe versus a heat shield, well, let me tell you the difference of that.
What, 100 degrees?
Yeah.
Because they're both still hot as fuck.
Yeah. Well, the idea is that heat wrapping keeps your exhaust pipe cooler, making air exhaust faster, meaning more performance, which was also a theory like before dyno tuners existed. So there's that.
Damn it.
Really, if it does, yes, it will absolutely, in the long run, damage your pipe.
And
Yes.
I've heard it makes them rust.
That would make sense.
Yep.
Yeah, it does. It really does suck to get stuck in some rain. And then your bike just smokes like crazy from, the point it got wet until 4 rides later.
And that's what makes it fade really fast too.
It sucks putting them on.
Oh yes.
Fiberglass is never fun. So I've got my Traeger. Someone had said that the handle for the lid gets too hot during the summer, and someone said, well, you should just wrap it with exhaust, the exhaust tape.
Wow.
And I'm like, I immediately was like, no, that thing's made of fiberglass. And they were like, the handle's not made of fiberglass.
No, wow.
I was like, okay,
See?
so we're clearly not on the same fucking level.
Yeah. For the record, fuck that guy.
But yeah, fuck that guy. 100% fuck that guy. Like, I mean, I understand your thought. You're wrapping it with something, but you're wrapping it with fucking fiberglass.
Which in my head, I immediately thought, okay, wrap it in fiberglass and then just use a glove to open it. And then my brain's like, why don't you use a fucking glove?
Just use a fucking glove. Or you can could go on the internet. You can go on Amazon and look up leather door handle wraps.
Oh, okay.
And it's just a piece of leather with some button snaps on it or laces, and then it just you see it on business doors and stuff like that face the sun.
Okay, Armando has a great question. Are these high-end bikes actually rideable? Or are they more status symbols? So the guy from Confederate made it sound like he's got 40,000 miles on his bike in the first 3 years he owned it.
Yeah, he rides his bikes 100%. Yeah. He makes his bikes rideable.
Now, I think the people who can afford their bikes are not riding them at that level. I'm betting a lot of them are buying the status symbol.
Well, one of his bikes that he had, so when we met him, one of the bikes that was up there was really kind of dirty as fuck. And I asked him about it because I asked him, I was like, are you riding these? Because it was dirty. And he's like, yeah. He's like, that's when he told us, how much he rides the bikes.
Right. But I'm saying like their average customer.
True. But no, I mean, their average customer, you're starting at $40,000 for what did it say, a 2005 model?
Yeah, their brand new models start around 100,000.
So, I mean, even then, you're not that, you're typically not that kind of person that's riding it every day as a commuter.
There's a lot of people that have a Lamborghini and can actually drive good enough to get the performance out of a Lamborghini. We're probably talking about the same market share here.
Yeah.
Very small percentage.
True.
I mean, but yeah, I mean, it's absolutely a status symbol. I mean, someone would probably recognize an Arch motorcycle more than they would a Confederate motorcycle.
Yeah.
But they're both really in the same market,
Yeah. Well, how much is like an Arch though? They're not up there in that kind of price point, are they?
Oh, they're pretty fucking expensive.
Yeah, I think they're less than 100 though, where most of Confederate was over. I think
Arch sits in that 60 to 75 range.
Yeah. And they only make, one or two bikes a year?
Who?
Or models? Arch.
I don't know. One of those that we were hovering on for a minute said they were going to make 23 units.
Yeah. That's the Method 143.
Yeah, I thought they made one or two a year.
Yeah.
Well, these might not be per year. This might be over the span of the run.
Yeah, that's true.
It's kind of like that P51 or P117 or whatever the fuck we were looking at from Confederate. It's the same model. It's just a different year. So that might be what they're saying with the Arch, that they're only going to make 23 total of that model, but they only may make 5 of them in 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But still, $80,000 for, that's a lot.
Right. But I mean,
it's not for us.
No.
Yeah. It's one of those things where the people in Hollywood are going to be the ones buying those bikes.
Yeah.
Or
Keanu Reeves' friends are buying those from him,
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So I guess this closing argument kind of turned into, high-end bikes. Are they worth it? Or
yeah. But I think we should go ahead and close it on a positive note that Arch motorcycles look cool.
How about a mask joke?
Okay.
Well, what's another name for a face mask?
What?
A coffee filter. Coffee.
Well done.
Scene.